Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the G2 Universe Laser Cycle. This is from the Legacy Evolution Toxitron collection. So with this video we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. Going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look how you can display him very differently with the use of his accessories. We're going to have a quick look and compare him with some of the other uses of this mold, and he's getting quite a lot of use, this mold, considering it was only first introduced a few years ago with, of course, Legacy Prime's RC. And in fact we've also got an original G2 laser cycle where I can show you the homage that it's from, and I've actually got pictures of the unreleased figure which is there. This is taken from TF Wiki, which is what this figure is indeed based on, and that's why we were under the impression he was going to be called Jazz. Now I suppose the speculation for him not being called Jazz is because we obviously had this released in the same toy line and his name is Jazz as well. Right, so loads to go through with this video. As I start to pack all these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. And the other thing is to thank Hasbro Pulse, because that's who I purchased this from, and as you can see they got him out to me nice, quickly and safely. So before we open him up, we've got to appreciate the beautiful artwork and completely wacky colour scheme on the front of these boxes. It is insane, it looks so good, and it is a definite, or gives you a definite 90s feel to it. So we've got the alternate mode there he is in his robot stored in the front, full robot picture there, just the bust of him there, and of course there's the Legacy Evolution artwork. Right, let's have a look at getting him out then. Right, so I always open mine up from the bottom because I just find it that little bit easier. So it is interesting, these figures, and just the fact that we're getting, I suppose, newer issues of figures that we didn't even have, to be honest. I mean, it's one thing having figures updated, but these are actual versions of figures that never, unfortunately, made their way off the production line. So it really is, I suppose, it's quite brave as well, to be honest. There he is with the front wheel, with his accessories, and he's packed away neatly. So I need to quickly stop the video, get him out and come straight back to you. So I've set him free from the packaging, and as you can see, he comes with quite a lot of accessories, to be fair. And if you're wondering why he doesn't balance too well, that's because you pretty much really need to attach these. So we've got the front of the bike, this is hanging off the back of him, you've got that large cutout there, and you've got this tab inside there, so you can just literally attach that like so. And it's up to you, you can have the doors out if you want to, it doesn't look that great, or you can fold them over. Just for now I'm going to fold them over and tuck it in. I'm also going to attach the wheel as well, and this actually counterbalances him much better. The accessory he has is this is a really nice translucent plastic. It's got a lovely little sheen to it. We'll see how we can attach and use this in a later part of the video. The articulation on it I think is great on these figures. The head sculpt is beautiful, look at that lovely Autobot logo there. Oh, there looks like there might be some light pipe in there. Let's have a look at this. And if ever you want a homage to G2, that is it. Light piping in the eyes, fantastic. I'll show you a figure in the later part of the video on G2 how they all pretty much had light piping in the eyes, so that's a real nice little touch, to be honest. The head will go all the way around, it will look up and down, the shoulders will go all the way around, they will swivel underneath, there's bicep flexion, there's wrist flexion. Now I always forget there is no waist articulation, so what I mean by that is don't try and spin the waist around, because you just end up pulling the bottom half of the body over and out. However, with the range of motion of the legs, I mean, you can kick all the way up, you can kick all the way back, there's a hip swivel, there's a knee bend, there's ankle tilt and rock. It is a very articulate little figure, and I think that's going to conclude first impressions. We're going to now have a look at him in his alternate mode and then come back later and do some comparisons with him in the robot mode for the final time. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Two reasons: one, to keep the main length of the video down, and 2 is because I'm going to be uploading a tutorial, so for the people who don't want to have it spoiled for them, you don't have to see it. I also need to correct myself, and I'll show you again in the next part, that there is a waist swivel, but it's only in a very particular point, and as I say, I will point out the bit that does come apart as well for you, so I am correcting myself with that. The alternate mode though looks great. Colour scheme is just really popping. The silver inside the wheels is reflective. You've just got the normal gunmetal darker grey on the outside, and the faded yellow into the white at the front is looking brilliant. The details on the front of the bike, again, are spectacular. I know that some people don't really like this mould, but I have no issues with it. I think it's clever. I think the transformation process can be a bit fiddly. Again, hence why I'm going to be uploading the tutorial. But otherwise, I actually quite like it. I think it just sort of works. Now, with the accessories, you've got, again, a few choices of what you want to do with it. You can attach these to the back if you want. Oh, not like that. You can't. You've, of course, got to put the tab in the 5mm port. But as you can see, that's just one way of doing it. It looks reasonable like that, I suppose. Perhaps it could be a bit better. You could also attach them to the back, which probably doesn't look either any better. I just think this is one of them molds that doesn't need it. It doesn't need the accessories attaching to them in any way. The only other teeny negative you can probably see is the visible hands at the back. And I've just popped them back out because when I tried to put it in, it moved them away. But, you know, they're not too bad. I think overall, for an alternate mode of a bike, it looks great compared to, and I've actually got another bike here where it's actually coming useful. I think it's actually better than this one, to be honest. This one is just they've gone for a completely different transformation process, and it works, it's okay, but I actually think I prefer this version. It's just a normal size Deluxe figure. So we've got, just at hand at the moment, we've got Deluxe Studio Series Jolt. So it's no bigger than that. It's no smaller. It just seems to work, to be honest. I'm just seeing if there's any other way I can attach these. I don't think so. Oh, I think there is, actually. I think you can join the center pieces together. So maybe if you wanted to, you could pop it as a full disc, but that doesn't look as good either, to be honest. I think overall the detail on this is spectacular. Alternate mode is actually really good, but of course I'm going to be displaying this in robot mode, and we're going to come back. I'm going to very quickly show you the waist articulation, then move on to the final part with the comparisons. So then, just to very quickly show you this, and again, apologies for getting it wrong, but I wanted to show you before we moved on. So what it is it's not really the waist. It's more, I suppose, the crotch. If you try to spin this like this, you can see now that this black part is going to come out completely, and that's what I don't want you to do. And that's what I've done before in the past, and it's took me ages to get back in, so it's not actually right there on the waist. But when you do come to doing the transformation process, as long as you've got enough clearance, and what I mean by this is that's completely moved out of the way, then you'll see you'll be able to swivel, but you've got to pretty much hold it on there. So with regards to it being in robot mode, it's not really a waist swivel. It is mainly just for transformation, and unless you're holding on, you can see now the whole of this midsection wants to come out. So it's perhaps something that, yes, you can do, but would I advise doing it? I wouldn't really, in honesty, just because it is such a pain to get it all back in. But just for clarification and to own my mistake, I wanted to show you exactly what I meant, and of course how you can avoid damaging your own version of this figure as well, as he's just completely pulled the front off. But let me put him back in position, and then we're going to come back for the final part right now. Right then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and we're going to look how we can display him with his accessories and do loads of display and comparison ideas. But one thing I did want to show you very quickly, I mentioned in the first part of the video about the light piping, and they did this with loads of their figures. So the Autobots had the Turbo Masters, there's the light piping in his eyes, and of course the Decepticons had the Predators, and they all had light piping in their eyes. So the fact that he's got it, as I said, lovely little homage to that. So really pleased with that. Right, so the accessories that we've got, to be honest, you can even display the wheel as well. So what I mean by that is with Flame War, what I did with her, I put the wheels at the back, which you can see I think really works. And you can actually do the same with this, and I think by doing this as well, this then gives you a much more G2-esque look about it. So this is G2's Road Rocket. That's the original right there. I just need to work out how I'm going to do what I've done with Flame War to him. Now the way you can do it is obviously separate this, but there's no colours on the inside. It'd have to be that way around. So there is the tab. Now I know what I'm doing. I just completely forgot. There it is. Not done this in ages. I'm going to pop that there, and do you know what, that is 100% how I'm going to be displaying him, exactly like that. I mean, there's the G2 Road Rocket. So again, we've got a lovely little homage to that as well. And then because I want to try and make them all different, if I put these in his hands, so this is it depends which figure you've got. It's either a throw star, it's some energon blades, it's loads of different things depending on which variant of the figure that you've got. And because typically this is a new figure, I'm struggling. That's better to push it in. That's gone in all the way, exactly like that. Right, let me move the original G2 Road Rocket out of the way. And what we've got here, if I show you the other ideas that you can do rather than me doing them all and taking ages on the video, what we've got with the first use of the mold, that was Legacy RC. I put the back of the bike open like little wings, and indeed put them, I suppose, as little shoulder blades. I can't remember the order, to be honest. I think it was G2 Road Rocket next, because this was a Ninja. That was more like a throw star. So I put that in her hand and just tucked the bike away at the back. In fact, I brought that around by the looks of it, but again, it's up to you. I brought that through the middle. You can lift this up. You can have it out of the way. There's loads of different ways that you can display all these figures. And the good thing about them is they've all got their own look about them. Right, let's bring in Flame War. She was next in the Shattered Glass toy lineup, and again I put them on the back and these up there. And then the final use of the mold is Ariel from the War-Dawn 2-pack, and with her I just completely tucked everything out of the way. Let's see if I can just get them all in just for a quick screenshot of them all. So the good thing is with this, there's so many ideas, and that's what I like about this, the playability, the fact that you can mix and match them with all their accessories to sort of do what you want. 2, 4, 5 uses of a mold already. Brilliant. Right, let's get rid of all the uses of the mold for now. Then what I'm going to do is just bring in a couple of other figures to give you an idea of the size. So deluxe size figure, pretty much smack bang. I know, quite a small one, to be honest, a bit of a smaller of the deluxe figures. I'm going to very quickly knock him over, bring in some third-party figures. But now what I really want to do is, because I'm only missing Grimlock leader class at the moment, which at the moment is quite a good thing because I won't be able to fit him all on screen. This is up to now in the UK, I think Grimlock's only available on import, but this is the Toxitron collection so far, and it is a completely wacky color schemed collection. I'm sure you'll completely agree with this. They do look amazing. I'm not going to be able to fit all of these on screen anymore because there's so many of them, and I'm enjoying collecting them. I'm loving the homages to them. I'm loving the fact that they're picking figures as well that we've never even seen or didn't get actual releases of. So there we go. I'm going to wrap this video up here. As I said in the other part, the tutorial for the transformation is in its own video. In the meantime, hope you enjoyed looking at him. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Take care.